anything, so we're going to do our dailies. God. I don't ever remember hearing her say start the car. I guess the easiest way to test it is let's do what we need to do here. Let's do the Christmas stuff. Might turn off all the things too. Running smooth. This looks good. You there, Elkie? There's definitely some delay there, but that's probably because of all the player. I mean, there's like a raid right here, if not more. Okay, I think we're going to transition over and get these guides started. So if we assume that all of them have to be redone, so that there you go, that's better. Don't seem to be seeing a lot of lag. Should be better when I'm not in a main hub too. I mean, I'm definitely seeing some hitching right there, I think. Okay, so let's try. I wonder if you're too low, you can't. So that way you can't farm it. And here we go. I get this started. Seems like I'm running pretty smooth. John, will you bring me my phone? Will you bring me my phone? I wanted to turn that off. Still doesn't seem like we're lagging, which is a bonus here. Yeah, I'm seeing a little lagging here. It looks like here comes the lag. Seems like it's gotten worse. Okay, now for what I want. A little bit of a fair amount of delay, actually. Definitely seeing some hitching going on here. Let's see. Don't want that. I want to get rid of this hitching. Almost wish I could remove this backboard here. Well, let's close that because we're not using that. At least it seems fluid enough. It looks better. Yeah. How many do I have? Currency 20. So I need to see how many guides I need to do here. This would probably be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Maybe 7, 8. So at least 10 guides that we have to do here. Okay. Thank you once again for joining me today. Today we will be remaking our Thantriok video for the Courage Challenge. So if you come over here to your Soul Mirror, you come down here to Thantriok, you'll choose Courage. And I want to take this opportunity once again apologize for the quality of the last video. I'm not too sure what happened to it, why the frames were as bad as it was. Thank you for everyone sticking in with me in the comments, letting me know. And then of course we are going to choose Pelagos. We are going to come over here. Honestly, the fight is really easy. You could probably do it without any. I'm just going to go with the Deep Echo Trident just because I like to be able to interrupt one of the abilities. So for the fight starts off with him in the middle. He will stay there. He is a caster. If you come into melee range, he will melee, so make sure to stand back. So for the first phase of the fight, there are 4 phylacteries. There'll be one here, one here, one here, and one here. You'll have to destroy one of the phylacteries to remove the shield that is protecting him. When you destroy it, he will take 20% increased damage. There'll be a timer right here, of course, as it goes away, so you want to make sure to be ready to break the next phylactery as soon as it's up, or getting close to, so that way you can continue DPSing with the 20%. During this time frame, he's going to cast Necrotic Bolt, Greater Necrotic Bolt, which you can honestly eat. They do a silly amount of damage. The thing to watch out here is called Terminal Destruction. You'll want to interrupt that with the Deep Echo Trident. And of course, continue DPSing him and destroying phylacteries as needed. If you make it to the second phase where you've destroyed all the phylacteries, he no longer casts Terminal Destruction, and he'll cast Death Blossom. So what that is it'll be a circle starting at his position where he is, and it will expand out from there. There are safe zones to go through. If it touches you, it will do a lot of damage, but you can mitigate that easily by using your Confront Memories, taking the shield, and honestly just walking through it. Because at that point, you're invulnerable to it, and if you need to get to another safe zone, you can do as you need to. We, of course, will be using our main ability, Test of Faith, to DPS him. We'll be using Aspirin's Binding whenever it's up. And, of course, we'll be using Unleash as often as possible as well. The phylacteries go down really quickly, so there's really no rush to take them out. But we're going to go ahead and we're going to ring the bell. And just like you, please ring the bell. Hit the notifications. Subscribe, leave a like. You can also follow me on Twitch at _Dab86. I always appreciate it. And thank you, everyone, for all the comments letting me know about the quality of the last video. So let's go ahead and get this started. But this time it should be a lot smoother. So you can see the phylactery there. There he is. He's got his shield. Get him into range here. We're going to go ahead and start this fight. It's going to go like that. I'm going to take the shield to mitigate his Necrotic Bolts. There's Terminal Destruction. It is a slow cast, so you're not too in a rush here to cancel it. Just make sure you do get it off there, or else he will get it off. And then while he's taking increased damage here, let's go ahead and noof him down. So he's got 10 seconds, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to start on this one. It's that one down. It's casting Terminal Destruction again. Honestly, it might hit us. That's okay. I'm not too worried on this difficulty because it is an easy fight. Go ahead and get our shield. Normally you'd want your shield up. I kind of used it a little bit early. That was my bad. But just to show you, once again, you don't want Terminal Destruction hitting you. And he's cast. Oh, I missed it. I didn't use it on the right ability. That was my bad. We're going to go ahead and we're going to take the shield. And we're just going to keep DPSing him. The fight's nearly over. But it's a relatively easy fight. I did mess up there because I didn't have my shield ready. So there you go. That is the fight with Thantrok. Make sure to just block his Terminal Destruction. Everything else is just kind of tickle damage. If that wouldn't have hit me, we probably would have been about 75 or 80% more health. Go ahead and loot our treasures here. Thank you so much for once again joining me today here on the Path of Ascension. Today we will be doing Mad Mortimer. In this, there is also an achievement to get from also defeating him. We will cover that as well. I've already gotten it, so I do apologize that I did that in a separate video. Got a little bit of lag there. We're going to redo that. Once again, thank you so much for coming and joining me today for the Path of Ascension. Today we will be doing Mad Mortimer. There's also an achievement that goes along with this. We've already gotten it. It's all colors of the Painbow, but I will also explain that. So, of course, you come over here to your Soul Mirror. You come down to Mad Mortimer. We'll be doing it on the Courage difficulty, so you hit Choose. And then for this, we will be doing Pelagos. And then for the equipment, I would recommend just going with the Phial of Serenity. They're pretty easy to kite around. It's not hard, so other things really don't work on them as effective. The fight consists of 3 mobs. There'll be one slime that's red right here. There'll be a sludge man that's green over here, and a blue sludge man that will be over here. The fight starts off fighting the red one. He'll be casting a debuff on you. I believe it is Burning Glob, and that will give you Fiery Veins if it hits 10, which causes an explosion at the point where you're DPSing. The other one that will become active is the green one. He'll be the second one, and he gives Fervent Fever, which becomes uncontrolled vomiting. If it gets to 10, and to get that, you have to get stand in the green items that he's dropping. So he'll do like a training mote, and he'll do a charge to a location where you're standing, and then he'll leave normally 3 swirling green areas of AOE, and that will turn into kind of a zone that you have to stand in to get it. So if you're going for the achievement, you'll have to stand into it. You'll lose control. The other one is the blue one, which will become active third. He will give you frozen. You have to stand in his thing. He slowly moves around the stage, pulsating, leaving frozen zones. So once again, easy to kind of avoid him and not get hit by him. So for the fight, of course, you'll be DPSing with Test of Faith. You'll be slowing them if you want with Aspirin's Binding. I'd recommend using it as often. It does damage, and of course, it gives you more energy for Unleash. I'd recommend taking the Confront Memories, the shield, just to mitigate damage, and also if you're going for the achievement, so that way you can stand in the stuff without taking the damage, especially since the other 2 do cause loss of control effects that will basically make you eat damage for those times that you're in there. Let's go ahead and we're going to get this started here. And they do share a health pool, so Unleash on all 3 of them does 3 times as much damage. I'm going to go ahead and ring the bell, and just like you, if you could also please ring the bell for notifications, subscribe, leave a like, leave a comment, and you can also follow me on Twitch at _Dab86. As you can see here, we got the red slime right here. We're going to get within distance, so that we're at our maximum distance here. If I can find it, there we go. Go ahead and take the shield, mitigate any kind of damage here. And it's Burning Glob there. You can see he's going to start casting that. We'll start getting a stack of the debuff here. I was hoping that the green one would become active. There he is. Let's start casting that, see if we can maybe get him at the same time here. I think we did it just a second too early. He's going to charge. We're going to take our shield. Take the shield. So there you can see, he actually did a lot more than I expected there. I like to kind of bring him over here so that way he can get stuck on the stairs and stuff, so he's not just casting it all over the stage. Because he will charge up there, and of course, you know, that limits him. And if you can kind of trap him, it comes in handy too. So that way it kind of mitigates where all he's running around to. The blue one's becoming active, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to do that. Uh-oh. Gonna get hit by the charge. Just gonna do that. I'm gonna take our shield. And as you can see, he's pulsating. So I don't mind at this point going and DPSing the blue one because he's just kind of constantly on us. Let's not get hit. So we're up to 4 stacks of the Plague Fever. Once again, if you're going for the achievement, you'll have to get all of these stacks up to 10. So we're going to go ahead and hit all 4 of them here. Green one might charge out. And didn't even use the Vial of Serenity, but if honestly that's the best one to take for that. Once again, just kind of kite around, DPS, hit all 3 with Unleash whenever you can, and that's the fight. My headset tangled around my leg. Thank you once again for joining us today for the Path of Ascension. For this fight, we will be taking on a Thanos. Once again, we will be taking Pelagos. So come over here, choose Pelagos. In this fight, he is a purely melee, so I kind of like to take the Vial of Lich Frost, because stacking it with your Aspirin's Binding, and then also that it lets you get a good amount of range away from him, so that way you don't have to eat his abilities. So for this, he is melee, so he's going to get into melee range. He does 2 melee attacks. One is he'll do a sweeping spear attack, so you want to make sure to sidestep that, shield it, do whatever, crowd control him, but don't get hit by it. It does a knockback effect, so it can knock you off the stage as well, and it does a good amount of damage. The second thing is he will do a charge, which will take him clean across the stage if he has to, but you want to avoid that as well, either by sidestepping it or getting out of the way, so that way you don't get hit by it. And that is, and at the end of the fight, he does have a mechanism where I ran into it. It was at the end of the fight. He has a mechanism that he goes to recharge. He'll put out shields. You want to get behind him so that way you can continue DPSing him during that time frame, or your abilities will of course be absorbed and miss. So let's go ahead and we're going to ring the bell here. And just like you, if you could ring the bell, also subscribe, leave a like, leave a comment. I always appreciate it. And you can follow me on Twitch at _Dab86. And once again, I apologize for anyone that watched my previous Thanos video. The frame rates were bad. I don't know why. Hopefully today this fixes it, and we can do this a little bit smoother. So we're going to go ahead and start this up. Take the shield. There's his power swing. Don't get hit by that. It'll knock you back. We're going to create some distance here. We're going to freeze him. Go ahead and hit him with that. There's his power swing. I'm going to go ahead and take a shield. There's his charge. Keep DPSing him. There's his power swing. Like I said, see, he'll knock you way back, so you got to be careful. We're going to go ahead and we're going to take the shield. There's his charge. Let's not get hit by that. Take this opportunity to DPS him. I'm going to go ahead and take that. We're going to take our shield. DPS him. Get out of the way of power swing. Continue DPSing him. And probably the best way would probably be to aim him towards the wall when he does his charge, so that way you can mitigate that. And you can see his power bar is getting low. He's ready to go into his shield here in a second. There's his power swing. There he's going into his charge, his shield, get behind him. I wonder if we could... Nah, it doesn't work. And it's rotating with him, so see. And that is how you do the fight. Make sure to avoid the power swing, the massive charge, and of course get behind him when he's doing his shields to power up. Thank you once again for joining me here on the Path of Ascension. Today we will be taking on Azurux, the World Ender. We're going to do it on Courage difficulty. We're going to be, of course, doing this with Pelagos once again. And I know I choose Pelagos for all my fights. It's because, honestly, he is the easiest with Confront Memory. Taking that shield, you basically become immune. For this, let's take... I mean, honestly, he's a pretty easy fight once again. We'll do the Vial of Lich Frost just because we can. Once again, he is a melee one, so he'll, of course, get into melee range. The mechanics to avoid this is he does have... He'll do what's called a Devourer Rift, and it will do an AoE on the ground. It will explode, and when it does, it will leave an area of effect. It will also turn into an orb that slowly rotates, so it'll rotate around, and in it, it does a linear attack, so straight through it, like a slash, that will explode out damage, and you don't want to get hit by that. The other thing he does is he summons ads. There's about 4 of them. When they get summoned in, they do a rift on the ground, a little swirly that blows up, so don't be standing where they summon in at. And when they die, they do the exact same explosion again. So you want to make sure once you kill them to also get off the corpses as well. It does a good amount of damage. We'll be, of course, using our Test of Faith to do damage. We'll be using our Aspirin's Binding to keep him away from us, and his ads if they're up, so that way we can do damage to all of them. We'll be taking the shield, as always. It is the one on the right. And then Unleash to do damage to him, and if his ads are up at the same time. And then just like me, make sure you ring that bell, leave a like, subscribe, and also leave a comment. As always, you can also follow me on Twitch at _Dab86. So once we start this, the area will change around, kind of like when you got his Soul Search Card. You got a good distance on him here. So, I mean, you can start the fight right here. We're going to go ahead and we're going to take our shield. There comes his Devouring Rift. Let's see where he puts it down at. Right on top of me. Get away from it. Do that. And see, now you can see there's the orb. It's pulsating around. Here comes his ads. We're going to go ahead and we're going to take the shield. We're going to blow everything up here. Still pulsating around. You can see that he's casting another Devouring Rift. Let's get off of that. Let's get some distance here. Let's get some more distance. Here comes his Devouring Rift. Take our shield. As you can see, it's pulsating around. Here comes them. Let's go ahead and we're going to right here. That way we can do damage to him and them. There he goes. Here comes his next Devouring Rift. Do that. It's pulsating around. We're going to take our shield. We're going to go ahead and we're going to freeze him in place, get some distance. Pulsating around. Here comes his Infestation. That's his ads. Let's not get hit by that, which we did. Take our shield. If he ever comes around this freaking corner, kill them. We've taken a lot of stupid damage. Here comes his next Devouring Rift, but that's the end of the fight. And that is the fight. Make sure don't get hit by Devouring Rift. Make sure when he does Infestation to avoid the 4 little spawnlings that he brings in, so that way you don't get hit by their explosion when they're zoning in. Make sure to DPS them and kill them down if you can. Use Unleash. If not, you can use your Aspirin's Binding to crowd control them and get away from them. And then, of course, damage the boss, and that's your win. Thank you so much for once again joining me for the Path of Ascension. Today we will be doing the Loyalty Challenge for Numenuru. So you come here, you choose Numenuru Loyalty. What that means is he has increased health and damage. So for the fight, he is rooted there in the center. He will not move from that spot. He summons fairies with So. They will come around down in the zone, so you want to make sure to either line of sight them so they can't do damage to you, or kill them outright. Once they're dead, there will be a blue light that goes towards the boss. I don't know if that does damage. We'll be taking a look at that during the fight as well. The main thing to watch out for is he summons a volatile fairy, an exploding one. If it gets its explosion off, it does a lot of damage. For this fight, since you really don't need to crowd control anything or do anything out of the place, we'll of course be taking Pelagos. We will take the Vial of Serenity for health. So if something goes down, we can heal for 10% of our health. So we'll take Vial of Serenity. and then just DPS the boss whenever you get the chance, of course, using Unleash to hit as many fairies as you can, taking the shield to mitigate the damage. I like to use Aspirin's Binding on the fairies to do as much damage to them as well, and of course, Test of Faith as our main damaging ability. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to start this fight. Just like me, ring that bell so that way you can get notifications when I make other videos. Also subscribe, leave a like, leave a comment, and you can follow me on Twitch at _Dab86. So here we go on Numa Nuru here. We're going to go ahead and we're going to start off on this side. He'll summon 2 fairies right here in the middle. Ah, we got 5 right here. Very nice. We're going to go ahead and we're going to take that. We're about to be able to do our number 4, our Unleash. There it is. We're going to do as much damage here. Where is it? Where is it? No, we clicked on him. Nope, let's not take the wrong one. Let's get back over here so we're line of sighted here. Take less damage. Keep DPSing him. Let's go ahead and use our file. We're going to come around here. We're going to do that to kill those 4. Volatiles up again in the same spot. Let's go ahead and we're going to take our shield. We managed to mitigate that purely because of our shield. That was a mistake. He keeps summoning them over here for whatever reason. I'm not quite sure. He's never summoned them all in the same spot like that before. But you want to make sure to be able to get to them. Just DPS here. And take our shield. Where did it... Did I get the shield? That was kind of weird. Summoning a volatile way across the map again. We're going to get hit by this. That's a fact. Go ahead and do that. Playing this ugly, not really line of sighting a lot. I started off on a different side than I normally do. Let's go ahead and take out that. Do our shield. There's a volatile fairy. Let's not get hit. Let's finish him off. There you go. That was a bit ugly on my part. It's normally a lot smoother. He normally doesn't do all the volatile fairies right here. That was kind of unusual that they were all as far away as they could be from me. But make sure you do destroy them. Make sure to DPS down his fairies as best you can using the Aspirin's Binding, line of sighting, doing everything. Normally, though, I do start on this side, so it normally puts the 5 fairies over there, and I can kind of stand around this pillar. So I apologize for doing that in a different way. But that is how you do it on his loyalty guide. He's no real different. He just does more damage and has more HP. Thank you so much for once again joining me for our Path of Ascension. Today we will be doing Aldurin and Myrnir on their courage challenge, or on their loyalty challenge. I apologize. So you come here, you go to Aldurin and Myrnir, you hit choose. We'll be coming over to Pelagos here. So we're going to choose Pelagos. For the equipment we're going to choose, we're going to do the Deep Echo Trident. And then, of course, with the loyalty, it means they do more damage and have more HP. So for this, you want to use the Deep Echo Trident to interrupt Aldurin when he is casting Anima Seed. If you do not interrupt Anima Seed, you have to stand in it and absorb it. I recommend being maximum distance that you can from Myrnir as possible, because Myrnir is ranged. He'll be using a bow, but he does a frontal cone of arrows that shoots in 3 directions at one time. You can get through them by going in the gaps in between them. And that way, if you do have to eat an Anima Seed, you have to stand in it. It will slowly diffuse, but that way you can easily move around in it. The other ability to watch out for is with Aldurin. He is a melee, but he'll cast a Dervish skill that puts down a tornado that's in an area. That way you don't have to worry about it so much with the Anima Seed. We will, of course, take the Confront Memories, the shield. We'll be damaging them both with Test of Faith, mostly on Aldurin, Aspirin's Binding on Aldurin, and of course with Unleash, we want to try to make sure that we hit both of them to double the damage. and then just DPS through the fight. So let's go ahead and we're going to ring the bell here. And when you do interrupt the Anima Seed, there is, of course, your cooldown, so you do have to worry about, you'll be able to stop the first one, the third one, and the fifth one. You're going to have to absorb the second and the fourth. But just like me here, go ahead and ring the bell. Also subscribe, leave a comment, leave a like, and you can follow me on Twitch at the_Dab86. Once again, ranged, melee. We're going to open up with Aspirin's Binding to root them both in place. Mjolnir will, of course, fall back to this corner here. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to take our shield. We're going to moved in a little bit there. He's doing Anima Dervish. There's Anima Seed. We interrupted it. We managed to stop that. There's the arrows. We're going to do as much damage as we can here. He should be getting ready to do his next one. We took the speed by accident. Let's not get hit by the dervishes. There's the Anima Seed. We don't have it off cooldown yet, so we are going to have to absorb this. Let's not get hit. We had dispelled it. Let's go ahead and we're going to do that. And I let a bunch of arrows pass through me. I needed to move around more. Thank you so much for once again joining me today on the Path of Ascension. We will be doing Alduin and Mjolnir on their Loyalty Challenge. So you just come over here to your Soul Mirror, you go to Alduin and Mjolnir, you choose Loyalty. It means they have more HP and do more damage. Of course, we will be taking Pelagos. So we come over here to Pelagos. We will be taking the Deep Echo Trident. So for this fight, you do have to fight Alduin and Mjolnir at the same time. Alduin is melee, Mjolnir is, of course, ranged. So for this, Alduin's abilities, of course, he will get into melee range. He casts Dervish, which will put down a whirlwind on the ground that moves around. You want to avoid that. He also does an ability called Anima Seed, so you want to make sure to interrupt that with your Deep Echo Trident. If not, it will put down a bomb on the ground that you have to stand in to defuse it. And then for Mjolnir, they will stand at a range doing a frontal cone, shooting arrows in 3 directions. You can avoid these by stepping into the gap, so if it's coming here and here, you just step in between, it misses. It can, and then, of course, with the Anima Seeds as well, I want to mention that the first one you interrupt, it will not be on cooldown for the second, it will be on cooldown for the third, not on cooldown for the fourth, and not on cooldown on the fifth. So you will have to stand in the second and the fourth. So you want to make sure to have your shield ready to go from Confront Memories to mitigate damage. We'll start the fight off with Aspirin's Binding, binding them both in place, and of course DPSing with Test of Faith. So let's go ahead and ring the bell just like me, and then you'll get notifications. Subscribe, leave a like, leave a comment, and you can also follow me on Twitch at the_Dab86. So we're going to get moved into range here. So that way we can maximize our damage here. The first thing we're going to do is take the shield. Once it's up, take the shield. There we go. There's his Anima Dervish. We're going to move away from there so it doesn't hit us. There's the Anima Seed. Interrupt that. Let's move him a little bit so that way we can do that. We're going to come over here and we're going to, let's not get hit. We got hit. Do both here. We got our shield, so we're not going to take a lot of damage. There comes his Anima Seed. Where's it at? We're going to have to move away here. There's an Anima Burst. We're going to take a shield here because we're going to have to absorb this incoming damage here. And then we're going to move. He should be getting ready to do his next one here. There it is. Block the third one here. We're going to have to absorb the... Well, let's go ahead and we're going to do this. We're going to be cutting this close. We're going to probably get hit by those arrows. Barely, I think we... Let's go ahead and get our shield back up because we're taking some damage here. He should be getting ready to do his fourth one here. Here it comes. Let's see where he puts it down at. It's right here, kind of at an interesting spot. Should be good for us. Let's go ahead and get our shield back here. Took some damage there. We're going to come back around so that way we can hit both of them if he ever gets into range here. There we go. Hit both. Kind of move off here. Not going to worry about that last seed here, and that is the fight. I took some silly damage there because I didn't have a shield and I was taking a little bit more hits than I intended, but make sure that you stop him from casting Anima Seed, make sure to absorb the 2 and the 4, and then just DPS and hit them both with Unleash. Keep your shield up as much as you can. You can line aside him to avoid some of his casting as well, kind of move him around. I didn't fail though. Thank you once again for joining me today on the Path of Ascension. Today we will be doing Corinth. Raven Corinth. Once again, thank you so much for joining me today for our Path of Ascension. We will be doing Craven Corinth on Loyalty. So you just come over here to Craven Corinth, come down here to Loyalty, and of course we will be doing this with Pelagos for his Absorb. We will be coming over here for this. He is a melee, so Vial of Lich Frost does come in handy. I did in one run, it glitched him and he didn't do his Anima Orbs. He didn't try to absorb them. But for the fight, what he does is he is melee. He does a lot of slap damage, so you want to be very careful. You wouldn't think he does, but his main mechanics is he will teleport center stage. He'll do Lines of Blood. The first 2 casts leave gaps between the lines. His third cast, though, will take up about 75%, so you want to get to the safe zone. If you don't, it does a lot of damage. His other ability is he will teleport behind one of the pillars, and he'll start absorbing an Anima Orb, which heals him over time. So you want to DPS the orb. And then the other thing to keep an eye out for on this fight is that... No. Thank you once again for joining me today for the Path of Ascension. Today we will be doing Craven Corinth on his Loyalty difficulty. This means he has more HP and does more damage. In the fight, he will do 2 abilities. One of them is to do Lines of Blood. They will come out. The first 2 casts of that will leave gaps in between, so you want to make sure to get into those safe zones. Get as close to him as possible during that phase, because on his third cast, he will take about 75% of the stage, and you want to get into the safe zone that is the other 25%. If you're standing way out here and it's right here, it's going to hit you. If you have your Absorb up, you'll survive, but I'd recommend avoiding it at all possible costs. His other ability is he does warp behind one of the pillars. He'll start absorbing an Anima Orb that heals him. You want to DPS the orb so that way he doesn't get the heals. With this, we did choose Pelagos. We will be using the Vial of Lich Frost. In another fight, I had it, when I did it just in at one moment, it glitched him, so he didn't do his Anima Absorb, so that was kind of odd. And for the rest of the fight, he didn't even try to absorb any orbs. And the reason I mainly take it isn't because of a possible glitch, but is because he does a lot of slap damage, so you want to make sure to keep up your Confront memories, and you want to make sure to use the Lich Frost to give you some distance between him, and once again, just make sure that you're as close to center stage as possible for that blood ability. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to ring the bell just like me, do the same. Also subscribe, leave a like, leave a comment, and you can follow me on Twitch at _Dab86. And for this, of course, we'll be keeping him at a distance with our Aspirant's Binding, doing as much as we can with our Test of Faith, and of course, hitting him with Unleash whenever we can. Get as close as we can here to maximize our distance. Start beating him up. Take our shield. I'm going to go ahead and do that. Here come the Lines of Blood. I can't see them for whatever reason. There's the safe zone. We're going to hit him with that, so that way he can't get to me to do his slap damage. I'm going to wait till the orb's up to hit him with our Unleash. I guess he hasn't He might escape just in time. We'll see. Gonna get some distance here. He broke out. That's okay. Because I once again have Aspirin's binding up. I want to get my shield up here. Just keep DPSing him. He hasn't teleported away, so he might have glitched here. Go ahead and hit him with that. As long as he doesn't teleport in the center, we're good. We're going to go ahead and we're going to hit him with that to get a distance so we can get our shield back up. Get in the safe zones, get as close as possible. Close as possible. Get into the safe zone. We're going to hit him with that. Keep DPSing him. We're going to refresh our shield. There we go. He's absorbing the orb. We're going to go ahead and we're going to hit both him and the orb here with this. Hit him with Aspirin's binding. Get some distance. Keep DPSing him. It's kind of risky being this far out, but we're going to keep DPSing him. We're going to do that to get some distance. Keep DPSing him. And I just messed that up in the last phase. So let's get as close to him as possible here so we can maximize our damage at the beginning of this fight. Go ahead and start DPSing him here. We're going to take our shield. Just continue DPSing him. Continue DPSing him. He went center, so let's get up close here. We're in a safe spot. Safe spot. Safe spots on this side. Let's go ahead and hit him with that. That way we can get our shield back up here. We're going to hit him with that. We're going to hit him with this. Where'd he go? There he is. See, and he didn't go for his animal orb. See, that's the glitch I'm talking about right there. Like, normally he'd go for that, but he didn't. And from what I've seen in the past, I mean, that's probably supposed to be something they're fixed. I would not rely on that to mitigate the fact that he should be absorbing that. Get some distance here. Hopefully he won't manage to escape this one. We're going to go ahead and we're going to do that. Now he's glitched. There's the safe spot. Let's go ahead and we're going to take that. Continue DPSing him. We're going to get some distance here in just a second because our shield's almost down. Okay, he's actually absorbing this one, so we're going to do that. We're going to start DPSing it. We're going to go ahead and start casting this. We're going to get some distance. Get our shield up because, like I said, he does a lot of melee damage, so we don't want that. Hit him with that. Get some distance. For whatever reason, my shield's already gone. Get up close. There's the safe spot. We're going to hit him with that. We're going to go ahead and do that. Get our shield. He should do one more attempt to absorb. We'll see. Yeah, he warped. Get our shield here. And hit him with that. Got that up. Peel him off me. DPS. There you go. That is the fight. Just avoid the orb. Once again, I don't know why he does that. If you hit him with the Vial of Lich Frost, it'll probably be something that they patch. I'm not too sure. You can use it to your advantage for now, but just be aware that it isn't something that is permanent. Or you shouldn't treat it as if it's something permanent. Thank you once again for joining me today on the Path of Ascension. Today we will be doing the Splinter Bark Nightmare on his loyalty challenge. So this means he has greater HP and does greater damage. We'll be using Pelagos for this. For this, I'm going to take the Ring of Warding. He is primarily a DPS, so you can kind of kite him around. The Vial of Lich Frost does not work in his Enrage. So the thing in this fight is he does two swirlies in the fight. He does a black one that will stun you if you get hit by it, so you don't want to get hit. He does a green flower. Walking through that will give you a stacking debuff that stacks 10, or a stacking debuff it looks like, but is actually a buff that stacks 10 times. Every time you walk through that one of those flowers, it decreases the damage you take by 9%. So you can take 90% less damage in this fight by collecting those flowers when it's safe to do so. Don't overstress yourself. But his thing is, he has two phases. One, he of course just melees you and does his swirlies. During his second phase, he goes into an enrage where he does a slam. For that, I would recommend having your confront memories ready, so that way you can shield it and face tank it as much as you want. Use your Aspirin's binding and kite him around to avoid the rest of it, because he does a lot of damage during that phase. Of course, he'll have an enrage bar. You'll see it going up, and you'll see it coming down in between his phases. And then he'll go back to casting the swirlies. But make sure we're doing a test of faith when it's safe. Aspirin's binding to keep him peeled off. Confront memories, the shield to minimize damage on top of the 90%, because it does help out a great deal with mitigating damage. Unleash when it is safe to do so. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to hit the ring the bell, just like you. Ring the bell, subscribe, leave a like, leave a comment, and you can follow me on _Dab86 on Twitch. So we're going to make sure that we're at our maximum distance here on this fight to minimize the time that, or maximize the time that it takes for him to get to us. So here we go. We're going to go ahead and we're going to get our shield. Here come the swirlies. There's the green one. I was standing on one apparently. Didn't see that. So you can see the flowers there. It's safe to go and collect them. There's one. There's two. There's three. Let's kite him a little bit away here. We're going to go ahead and we're going to retake our shield. If I can see, you're so big I can't see through you. It is not safe to take a flower right now, so got hit by that. Trying too hard to get these flowers in this tight space here. Get our shield back. He's getting ready to go into his enrage, so we're going to go ahead and get rid of that while we can. We're going to re-get our thing here. Maximize our distance from him. We're going to go get... We need our shield up, because we're going to be face tanking him at this point. I played that first wave sloppy, so I do apologize here. And get some distance here. Let's grab... What? That one wasn't even there. God, we're playing this sloppy. Let's go ahead and collect that. We're going to go ahead and re-get our shield. I'm going to do that, and then we're going to collect the other green. I'm going to collect that green. We're going to go on through. I don't know if we'll make it through that. We're stuck on the corner here. We're going to take that one, get some distance, keep DPSing him. Let's get back our shield here. Let's get another green here. Here comes his Enrage. Let's DPS him. Do not have a shield right now, so let's kite just a little bit here. There's the shield, so we're just gonna face tank this now. We're gonna go ahead and do this because he's not gonna do any swirlies that are gonna stun me out. We're gonna hold off on our binding until he's out of this phase, and there we go, he's out. Maximize our distance because we've taken a lot of damage. Not gonna worry too much about the armor for now because we're gonna be just DPSing him. Stun him. We'll take that one just because it's near us, and this should about wrap it up. Do be careful, like I said, getting the flowers, it is good to do, but it's risky, so you want to make sure to minimize that damage, keeping that absorb shield up, making sure that you're getting that reduced damage as much as you can, and face tank him during that phase. So I apologize, that was ugly on my part, trying to get those flowers, but only get them if it's safe to do so. Thank you once again for joining me for the Path of Ascension. Today we will be taking on Thantioch on his Loyalty Challenge. So you come over here to Thantioch, we come down here to Loyalty. We're going to be doing this with Pelagos, and we'll be taking the Deep Echo Trident. And of course with Loyalty he does increased damage and has increased HP. So we'll take Deep Echo Trident. For this fight, he will start off in the center. He does not move. He is a caster. If you get in range, he will melee you, so do be careful. The three abilities that he casts during this phase are Necrotic Bolt, Greater Necrotic Bolt, and Terminal Destruction. You want to make sure to use your Trident, the Deep Echo Trident, to interrupt that. It does a lot of damage. You want to make sure to keep up your Confront Memories shield, so that way it minimizes the amount of damage you're taking from his Necrotic Bolts and his Greater Necrotic Bolts. To do the fight, there are 4 phylacteries. There'll be one here, 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 and here. When you destroy one, it will remove his shield, and you've got about 20 seconds to DPS him. During that time, he does take 20% increased damage. Once he does that, he will regain the shield, and then you'll have to destroy the phylactery, continuing to DPS him, destroy phylactery, continuing to DPS him, phylactery, DPSing him. If he lives longer than it takes you to destroy all the phylacteries, he goes into his phase 2. During that, he no longer casts Terminal Destruction, but now he will cast Death Blossom. It will be a circle that expands out from him. It will have safe zones in between it to pass through each circle. You can use your Confront Memories for your shield, which will be the right one here. And then you can use it just to walk through it, get to another safe zone, survive, do what you need to do. But that is his fight. He'll continue to cast Necrotic Bolt and Greater Necrotic Bolt. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to ring the bell to get this fight started. Just like me, ring the bell, subscribe, leave a like, leave a comment. And you can follow me on Twitch at _Dab86. So you can see the phylactery here. You can see he's got his shield on. We're going to get as close as we can before we start this fight to maximize our damage. Right here. Right there. Okay, so we're going to start off destroying this phylactery. There's his Necrotic Bolts. There's his Terminal Destruction. It is a slow cast. You really don't have to do anything until about the T. We're going to interrupt that. We're going to use this to clear out his thing because he's getting ready to lose it. It should not. It did destroy it, so it did refresh it. So once again, it's 30 seconds, so I was a little bit off there. I apologize. We're going to take that. Here comes his Terminal Destruction. We're probably going to end up eating this, but we got our Absorb still, so it shouldn't do any damage. Go ahead and do that. Destroy the next phylactery. We're of course going to take our shield, mitigate damage here. Still in the Greater Necrotic Bolts. Mitigating damage. We got time. Should be getting ready to do another whatchamacallit here in a second. We're going to take our shield. Go ahead and we're going to destroy it because we've only got a few seconds left. That way we can keep doing it. Here comes the Death Blossom. DPS him in a safe spot. We've got our shield, so technically we can just walk through it. And ironically, it doesn't trigger it, so it's really weird. That's probably also a glitch. I would not rely on that. I'd probably be trying to do as many safe spots as possible. We're going to go ahead and we're going to refresh our shield here. We're going to go ahead and hit him with that. We almost got this. He should be getting ready to cast another Death Blossom here in a little bit. Actually, it's taken him a long time to do this. But he's almost down. Oh, wow. He went into that a lot sooner than I thought he would. Let's go ahead and get our shield for safety purposes. And we got it. Go ahead and blow him up. And that's the fight. Once again, it absorbs everything. I don't know why you're invulnerable to that. It should be triggering your shield. That is probably a glitch and probably will be fixed. Do be mindful of that. You should be hitting as many of those safe spots as possible. And then loot your rewards. Okay, we can't. Thank you once again for joining me today for the Path of Ascension. Today we will be doing Mad Mortimer on his loyalty challenge. So you come over here to Mad Mortimer at your soul mirror. You hit choose. There is an achievement on this. I would recommend doing it on the courage difficulty. If you look at my courage guide, it's got it in there. Of course, we'll be doing it with Pelagos. We will be coming over, and for the equipment, we are going to take the File of Serenity, just because the heals, there's really none of them that work well besides that. So in this fight, of course, there are 3 mobs. There'll be a red slime, a green sludge man, and a blue sludge man. You'll start off with the red. He'll be throwing Burning Glob on you, which will give you the debuff Fiery Veins. And once you hit 10 stacks of that, you'll do an explosion at the point that you're DPSing. The second one will use Fervent Fever, which gives you uncontrollable vomiting if you stand in his green rings or get hit by his charge. The other one will hit you with Frozen. He slowly moves around the stage, doing little circles of ice and all that stay on the ground. So you'll want to kite that. And for the green one, he does a charge effect. He'll do a train emote and he'll charge at you there. Just make sure not to get hit. For that, I like to bring the fight over here with the green one because there is stairs, so there are kind of lips, so it kind of minimizes his charging area. And where he's splashing that stuff all over the place. So just like me, I'm going to go ahead and ring the bell. Do as well, so that way you can receive notifications. Subscribe, leave a like, leave a comment, and you can follow me on Twitch at _Dab86. Green, red, blue. And you can see the area of their effects here. The fight does start with one of them coming live. We'll be DPSing with Test of Faith. We'll be using Aspirin's Binding whenever it's up. It's not too hard to keep them under control. Confront Memories, we'll take the shield, and with Unleash, we'll try to hit all 3 of them. Of course, you'll probably get your first one when it's just the red, your second one when it's just the 2, and then by the time you get your third one, they'll probably all be up. So we're going to come up here. Go ahead. Take our shield here. There's the Burning Glob, so we'll start getting the stacks. Gonna move away. I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna use that. Here comes the second one. We're gonna try to line him up so we can trap him in there with the stairs. So he's doing his charge. Let's go ahead and peel that one off. He's doing his slime charge. We're going to refresh our shield. And as you can see, he's stuck. And now I'm kind of stuck. We're just going to go right around here. As you can see, now he's pinned in there, so we don't really have to worry about his charge effect so much. We will have to worry about when it comes time to get out of this with his splash. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to take the shield, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to get out of this now because it is what it is. He's free. We're going to do that. I'm going to go ahead and refresh our shield here. He's going to do his charge. We got the blue one up. So let's come up here. This should hit all three here. Triple our damage. Still kiting around. We're going to take our shield. We did manage to get all the stacks of the uncontrollable. If I just walk into my thing, this is going to be problematic. We got charged. Wow, this is a lot going on right now. Go ahead and do that. I don't know if he'll hit him. Let's go ahead and re-get our shield here. Keep DPSing him, as he's just the closest one. Yeah, we got crowd controlled again. We're probably going to go down here. I need to get out of this. Get through this here to a safe zone. Do that. Should hit all three and wrap this up. I kited around a little bit faster than I normally would there once we left the stairs, so I do apologize for that, but wrapping him up on the stairs does minimize the amount of area of effect there. But that is Mad Mortimer on his loyalty difficulty. Anything we can throw out that's not worth a lot. Actually, damn, can't do that right now. No, that's only worth 1 gold. Yeah. Guess we could have thrown that away too. They were equal in value. Okay. So we're going to go ahead for now. I'm going to call this stream because I got to get those videos posted and fixed. So thank you everyone for coming. I will be back later on today.